What up, y'all? It's your boy Riggs, man. Another day. I'm grateful for another day alive, another day sober. I got 50 days today. I kind of stopped counting the days. My sobriety day is Cinco de Mayo, so May 5th, 2024. So I just know every 5th of the month, no matter how many days are in the month, that's when I take a chip, right? And I'm just gonna get right into it, man. I apologize for the cliffhanger. It's been like 4 days since I've done a video. I've been super busy. Yesterday I was in the studio recording a new song. This special effects production company wants to do a music video with me, so I didn't want to do any of my old songs for the video, so I had to jump in there and record something new. I apologize for the cliffhanger. So this is my honest opinion about how Ryan died, right? Ryan had hepatitis C for years, ever since he was in prison, federal prison, or before that, I don't even know. But he had hep C so bad he couldn't take the cure pill, because if you have enough liver damage, like you can't take the pill because the pill itself causes liver damage. So, the hepatitis C, about the last year of his life, he just really let himself go. Like, he was dealing with gastrointestinal stuff from the methadone, the absurd amount of methadone that he was on. He did have pneumonia a few weeks before he went into the urgent care. So all these things, if you look at that last day video that Karina posted, he looked awful. I've never seen him look that bad, just fat in the face, bloated, you know what I mean? He was dying, right? And so Ryan went to urgent care, and, Karina had texted me at 4 o'clock in the morning, hey, Ryan died, or Ryan's dead. And shortly after that, from Relapse 3 Part 2, I was talking about this security guard dude that I knew. He worked at the urgent care, right? And he sent me a Facebook message right after I woke up a few hours later after that text from Karina, and read it again. I was in disbelief, and this dude messaged me hey, do you know Ryan Leone? I'm like, yeah, bro, that was my best friend, And he's like, I was like, why? How do you know him? Right? So the fact he hit me up on Facebook Messenger makes me believe that the security guard, I'm not going to say his name, because I've it's done, dude. He's been dead almost 2 years. The security guard Facebook messaged me. So that means that he went on Facebook, typed in Ryan's name, saw that I was a mutual friend, and then hit me up on Facebook Messenger. And I was like, why? What do you know about him or his death, right? And he's like, basically what happened is, this is all quoted, right? He's like, I don't know why he was in here originally, but he went into the bathroom and shot up meth in his IV. That part alone doesn't make sense to me, because Ryan hated meth. I've never seen him shoot meth, ever. I know he's had done it, obviously, but he'd smoke it sometimes, but that was never his thing. Crack was his thing, heroin was his thing, fentanyl was his thing, ketamine, molly, benzos, acid, He said that Ryan shot meth in his IV. And this dude's head of security, mind you. Ryan shot meth in his IV, and he came out of control. And, Ryan being 5'6", and, problems with authority, Ryan, low-key, dude, he had Napoleon syndrome, dude. So, and Ryan could also fight like a motherfucker. So, if a security guard or any, law enforcement kind of person approached him, Ryan would be swinging, bro. You know what I mean? And so this guy said that Ryan shot meth in his IV, he came out of the bathroom and was acting crazy, and they had to restrain him, right? So being 5'6", and this dude's 5'6", he would not be able to take Ryan on, dude. So that tells me that at least 1 or 2 or 3 more security guards had to come in to help this dude, restrain him. This dude said that they had to restrain him, so they probably had him on the ground, right? Like, and then he said we had to restrain him. He was out of control, and then his heart imploded. So I don't know if Ryan couldn't breathe. He already was breathing bad if you look at that last day video. You know what I'm saying? With the pneumonia and all that stuff. Karina had said he was having trouble breathing lately. But like, yeah, the coroner said, you know, he had fentanyl and meth in his system. Of course he did. He was doing that shit every day. But I feel that security pinned him down low-key on some George Floyd shit when he already couldn't really breathe, and he couldn't breathe, and him. You know what I'm saying? Makes sense, right? I'm not even done yet. So after he messages me, a friend of mine who Ryan did know messaged me on Facebook, via text, and is like, hey, did you hear about Ryan? I'm like, yeah, man, like, unfortunate. And I was like, how did you find out? Did Karina hit you up? And he goes, nah, so-and-so did. That same security guard, right? So, whom is Facebook friends with him. So when dude typed in Ryan's name on Facebook, he probably saw me and my boy's names pop up. And something told me, hey, dude, do me a favor and copy and paste the text message or the Facebook messenger. Because I was like, how did he hit you up? He called you? And he's like, nah, he messaged me on Facebook Messenger. I'm like, do me a favor and copy and paste that message that he sent and send it to me, right? My boy sends me that message, and it was identical. Commas, everything. Identical message to what he sent me. So that means he copied and pasted it. You know what that tells me? That tells me that the higher-ups in the urgent care were like, hey guys, group meeting, employee meeting, hey, we have a problem, so, you know, this is what happened, right? This is the story that happened, right? Like, why would dude DM me and tell me all that information instead of just keeping it like hush, like if he wasn't tripping over it, like scared? You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, because Ryan was originally in there and they had probably taken his blood right away and he was in there for drugs, there would be no way to really look into this. I'm not sure if they had like security cameras or what, but it's not my business. He's gone. And it's not my job to like look into that. It has been looked into supposedly, and there's nothing they can do because Ryan was a drug addict and he was initially in there for drugs and other health related stuff because of drugs, right? That's facts. So, you know, you can interpret it how you want, but like bottom line is like, if the drugs don't kill you, the behavior will, or the lifestyle will. So yes, for it to make sense to me and not be mad about it and let my mind wander, like, yeah, Ryan died from drugs and health issues related to drugs, you know? So Ryan, that crushed me, dude. I want to say that, you know, that's the day I got sober. July 2nd, 2022, when I found out about my boy passing. But I lost it, dude. I lost it. And, you know, I really thought Ryan was immortal. He was a tank, dude. Like Cadillac Ron, Robert Paulson, rest in peace. Bro was a tank. All dead from drugs. So me being, you know, I'm only a year younger than Ryan. And, you know, Cadillac Ron, he was 36, when he died in 2016. I'm 37. I'm like the little homie, right? So I was like, fuck, dude, like I'm next if I don't do something. So like I used really hard for about a month after that. And then my mind started telling me like, dude, you got to do something or you're going to die. You got to do something or you're going to die. So I had gone back up north I went to Tijuana, got more Lyrica from the pharmacy. And I went up north to go do this detox. And And I stayed sober for a little bit, like what they call, I hate this term because it's ridiculous. And like when people share about it, they kill people because of this. California sober, right? That's like when you can smoke weed and do psychedelics and drink and shit. And like I thought like, oh shit, like I'm a hippie, like I can smoke weed, I can, do acid every day for a month straight. That shit almost killed me because that's like what I relapsed on back in 2021, and it almost killed me, dude. Like they talk about this in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. There's 4 stages of alcoholism. If you're an alcoholic, you're an addict. If you're an addict, you're an alcoholic, period. If you can control one or the other, you are not a stage 4 with the progressive and fatal disease of addiction, like me, like Ryan, like Cadillac Ron, like my boy Chris Berta, like my boy Skip, like my boy fucking John, like my boy, God, dude, there's just too many to name. I stopped keeping count. Those ones really hit me hard though, particularly Ryan. That's really the only one I cried over, So I had gotten California sober, which was working for a little bit because my boy is a normie, aka a normal person. Like he does like the hash rosin dabs. He'll maybe have like 2 drinks in a night, like doesn't drink every night. He can control it. He is not an addict alcoholic. But so he was keeping me in check somewhat because I was staying with him at the time. I didn't want to come back to LA because it's people, places, and things, right? I busted what they call a geographic to get from out of LA because I didn't know anyone in this particular area up north. I even went on Craigslist to try to find blues, to try to find Fetty, and there was nothing. Not like LA. Like the ads like stay up. It's like the feds like want it up so they can keep busting people or something. I don't know. I had gone back to LA to visit. Like, dude, I need to handle shit. Like, and my boy's just like, this might be the last time I'll see Riggs, And of course, when I'd go back to LA, because deep down, I'd get loaded every time I go back to LA. Deep down in every fiber of my being, I wanted to be clean and sober. But like, all my associations at the time were like, when I come to LA and stay, I'm staying at flop houses and trap houses and, all that. So it never worked, dude. I wanted to try to figure out a way to do it on my own without going back to a 12-step program. I wanted to do it on self-will, and it was self-will run riot, I had gone to detox in LA, again, the same fucking place I've been to like 9 times. That's just one of them. I've been to treatment probably at least 50 times, no exaggeration. Some of those 50 times was like the same spot multiple times. I've been to like probably like 20 sober livings. I don't know, man. So I went to go to Japan for 3 weeks to do music, and I had gotten on Suboxone when I left this detox because they always release you with an Ativan or Klonopin script and like a 90-day supply or a 30-day supply of like 60 or 98 milligram strips of subs, the films, right? And that's the only reason I was able to go to Japan, dude. And my felonies got expunged back in 2016 when cannabis went legal here in California. So if you're a felon, you can't go to Japan. So I was like, there's no fentanyl in Japan. I was even asking my homie out there in Osaka. I'm like, yo, Like, do they have like heroin or like fent? He's like, nothing, bro. It's an alcohol country. Like, you can be on the train out there with a bottle of liquor in your hand. You can walk through the mall with a bottle of liquor in your hand. It's really liquor, meth. They have a huge meth problem, and like MDMA, right? Because it's all synthetic shit out there, but no fent. So I'm like, shit, like. So I got on Suboxone just so I could make that 3-week trip, and I was doing good. But when I came back, things fell apart again. I got kicked out of where I was living up there in Northern California. I came back to LA in September 2023. And it was, about 9 months of the same shit. The same shit that I've been doing for 23 years. I started using when I was like 14. Same shit, and what happened was I went to that detox one last time. I was having issues with insurance, and I get out of detox after 6 days. It was brutal, and because it was the same place I've been hella times, the doctor there is supposed to come visit you every morning to see how you're doing, to check on your progress, to see if you have a aftercare program in mind that you want to go to. And he didn't see me the whole time. Like, I would see him in the hallway, like, hey, doctor so-and-so, and he just like didn't want to look me in the eye, because without AA and all the A's except for the DA, and not just the meetings. Meeting makers don't make it. Meeting makers get fucking loaded, dude. Relapse is not a part of recovery. It's a part of your disease. Without a spiritual or religious solution to fill that God-sized hole that you would stuff dope in, like a mouse on a wheel, to try to reach that point, you're fucked. If you're a stage 4. Like I am, like Ryan was, like Ron was. So I'm waiting for insurance to kick in. I get out, I hit up my good homie, and you know what? I'm gonna break his anonymity. I don't give a fuck. My boy in the previous video, my boy from Blessed Savage Clothing, follow them on Instagram, blessed_savage_clothing on Instagram. Order some merch. That God Bless the Ratchets hoodie's my favorite. I hit him up the day I got out of detox, and like this fool, like the Rick James Canadian models, he had got sober. He's coming up on 2 years, so he had got sober around like about a month after Ryan passed, but him and I weren't talking then. And so this whole time he was like, bro, you need treatment. He was trying to, and it was annoying. And it was annoying because, like, deep down, I know he loves me and cares about me, and he doesn't want to see me die like fucking all of our homies have, or catch a case and go upstate, So I had hit him up like, yo, bro, I just got out of detox. Can you take me to a meeting? And he's like, nah, but if you get over there, like, I can drive you home, right? So I Uber over there, and this is the last high that I had. I got out of detox. I went to where I was living at the time, and I couldn't find any fent, and I didn't have time because I promised bro I'd meet him at this meeting. And like my homie there had meth, and I smoked like a huge bowl of meth with him, and I'm still in withdrawal. It was awful. So now I'm like dilated eyes, and I show up to this meeting like, you know what I mean? And my boy's just like, shit, bro. I stay for the meeting. He drives me home. He's like, bro, you need to go to treatment. I'm like, dude, I'm trying. Like, my insurance only covers 6 days in detox, bro, max. And they kick you out. And then that's not even long enough to kick benzos and fucking fent and shit, But something told me, and this is my higher power, just the universe working in my life, right? Aliens, fucking the interwebbing, right? Told me to check my phone, so I go on my phone and check to see the insurance, and for like 2 months it was red and said pending. Boom, it was green and said active. And I was like, bruh, dude, my insurance is active. And he's like, you should just come to where I work. He's a drug counselor there. But I had plans that night, you know what I mean? And if I went and followed through those plans, I probably wouldn't be here right now talking to y'all, okay? So I was like, okay, something else told me, like, okay. Because I was like, can I just go show up tomorrow? And he's like, yeah. And then something told me, can I just go tonight? And it's like 11 p.m. at this point. And he's like, let me check. He makes the call. They're like, dude, they'll take you right now. So I had him take me to my pad I was living at. Excuse me. I had him take me to the pad I was living at. And he helped me pack all my clothes. And he threw away all my paraphernalia. I had like some real 5-MeO DMT powder. I had Adderalls. I had some PCP. I had, that kind of shit. And he threw it all away. And he drove me to rehab. And I was kicking. So my first 3 days in detox, I slept. And I couldn't move. That doctor that I was telling you about who wouldn't talk to me, they didn't give me any detox meds for the benzos, for the fentanyl. I thought I was going to have a seizure and die, but I'm like, hey, at least I'll die here in this bed, And I had to I remember I was so hungry the third day I woke up. I'm leaning over to grab the tray on wheels. I'm like, ugh, and I got it, scooted it over to me, and there was some dry ass, unflavored oatmeal. Nasty, bro. No sugar in it, no salt in it. You can eat it either way, fucking couscous or whatever. And I ate 2 spoonfuls just to get some food in my stomach, to get some energy, to go up and ask them for nicotine gum because you couldn't smoke there, right? I'll never forget that detox. I call that God, the gift of desperation. I'll never forget that detox. And you need to never forget your detox and never forget that pain you felt then, because I don't ever want to go back to that shit. Ever. He drops me off of treatment. So now I haven't slept in 2-3 days. And then the withdrawals kicked in even more. That first night I did the meth that day, so I was wide awake. You couldn't take Benadryl, you couldn't take melatonin there, but I took it anyway to try to get some sleep. So I'm wide-eyed on a top creaky-ass bunk bed. So uncomfortable. Soaking through I was laying on top of the sheets and blankets, soaking through it, tossing and turning, but trying not to wake up Brody underneath me, right? And just high off Benadryl and melatonin. You'd think it would knock me out. Hell no, that opiate insomnia and benzo insomnia, dude, I could sniff a 3,000 milligrams of Seroquel and that shit won't knock me out, That shit is brutal. I didn't sleep for the first 8 days that I was there. I was wide-eyed awake, sweating it out for 8 days. It was not a detox. It was residential. It's mostly people that come in from custody, so they've already gone through withdrawal and inside. But I was a walk-in. So it was a little different for me, but, no detox meds this whole last kick, man. And, that was May 1st, 2024. A homeboy there had a half a Suboxone strip. It was a Saturday. I really, really needed it, though. And I took the Suboxone, and then they drug tested us Monday collectively, right? And I didn't want to get kicked out because if I knew what I was going to do if I left, I would not be here. I'm 95% sure of that. That 5%, it's not open for trying to figure it out. Why even risk it, right? So I told him, hey man, I found a Suboxone because I'd cut holes in all my jeans and shit. I've been arrested hella times. I always did that, and I'd always go through IRC, Inmate Reception Center, with shit on me, the hole behind the zipper and the sides of the belt, behind the belt loop and shit. And so I told him I found a half a Suboxone strip in my pants, and like I took it, and I told them that before the test results got back, and they did not kick me out. So I changed my sobriety date, my clean date, to May 5th, 2024. And here I am on, what is it, June? I don't fucking know. But I'll be coming up on 60 days here real soon. I love you guys. Thank you so much for all the comments and stuff. And you know, I hope this video has helped you out. Palabra.